Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central. We are in like the main foyer area of the Overwatch League. They're selling all the merch below. There's the Philadelphia-Houston match on at the moment. And the person next to me, you may not recognize him by face, but you will recognize him from in-game. This is of course Tvique. Recently spoke about the Widow changes before Christmas and that. But we're here now. The Overwatch League is here, and like, as somebody that was in the scene very, very early on, like closed beta time, it must feel amazing to be here now and to be a star DPS for a very strong team in the league.
I mean, it just feels amazing. Like, it's finally here. We are finally be able to, like, just show off our practice and just being able to practice much more than we already have. Just being able to show off all the skill that we possess as a team, and then I speak for everyone and not just for myself. We have this league, this huge thing, and hopefully it stays this way and it just keeps growing.
It grows bigger and bigger and bigger, I guess, yeah. So you had a baptism of fire by one of the favourites to win at least the Atlantic Division, London. You took a map, it was 3-1. You looked very strong on stuff like Oasis and stuff, which could have gone your way. I think people are very critical of Mayhem. What would you say is your strength, I suppose? How would you deter people? You showed them that, but like, in your own words, what went well on Dorado, what went well on Oasis, and can you really take games off maps, teams like London, I suppose?
I mean, I think the longer this season just goes on, I think we're just going to become stronger and stronger. And we kind of like touched it a little bit during the preseason as well. Like from day 1 to day 2, we looked a lot better than we did during day 1. But it's mostly just because there's so many like habits and just basically fundamentals that we had coming from a dive meta and from kind of like a bigger break, I guess you can say, because we were Team Sweden and stuff like that. We didn't really have practice time, and like just coming from that, we've been able to like practice so much more practice that we got into it, like being able to fix stuff that we had problems with during the preseason, and we're getting a lot of basically shit for it. But if we continue doing like we are, I definitely think that we'll be able to be up there with the top dogs.
Yeah, and that kind of goes on nicely to the meta changing. You said that Mercy struggled a lot. Mercy and JUNKRAT, the changes that have gone through, and no doubt we'll start with JUNKRAT. What do you think of that and all of that stuff, I guess?
I think the JUNKRAT change is like it probably is like in the perfect direction, because it makes it so that a hero like JUNKRAT, maybe most people think it of as just like a non kind of skill hero where he just spams one area and that is effective, and then that's all you do. But in this change, he will still be spamming. However, his mind won't be nearly as effective as it would be basically just throwing it out there. Like, now you gotta like think before you actually throw it out. Like, how well is this gonna hit the target and so on with the damage fall-off. Like, I think this is probably like the best direction, making it so that it requires more of you, more practice of you, I guess you can say, to make sure that you'll be able to play the best you possibly can with that hero.
It's very similar to Mercy, who we'll touch on briefly, because again, this is a positive change in your eyes. Do you think pretty much all the games that we've seen so far have included a Mercy? When these changes go through on Feb 10th, it's like the second sort of like season bit review, like I can't remember the term for it that you were using, but like, are we just going to see Mercy drop out completely? Are we going to see Lucio return? What's going to happen with these changes, and ultimately, why do you like them?
I think the biggest thing about it is that it doesn't make Mercy like a must pick just because the Valkyrie is just so bonkers. Like, it's just so incredibly good. And just Resurrect as an ability is just utterly broken, basically. Like, the Resurrect will still stay there, but it won't be making it utterly broken. It will be making it useful. It won't make it bad. It's useful. And then also, Valkyrie itself is still really good. It's not bonkers, it's not broken, it's really good. So on points like, say like a 2CP map, like Anubis, you'll probably still be able to see some Mercies like being played here, just because like it's fairly easy to like build it up, like push in, and then as everybody's playing on the point, you can still chain heal everybody, chain boost everyone. She will still be really good here. But I think with the changes, I think that Zenyatta is gonna become like the main anchor support that it will be like building rosters around. Just because Zenyatta is just really good as it is, like hero design is just really good. I'm not exactly sure like how the meta is really gonna look like, if Zenyatta is gonna be an anchor support at all, or if they just gonna like completely gonna change up, because we haven't been able to see the changes that happened to Anna before the Mercy buff. We also haven't got to see Moira before Mercy buff.
So you need to see all those like moving parts before you can make like an educated decision. That makes sense. Again, real quick, it talks about Hanzo change, like a rework of sorts. Just if you were Jeff Kaplan, how would you rework him? How would you make him more useful? You play him a lot, but obviously you understand more than most how problematic Hanzo can be when he's inconsistent.
I mean, just give him back headshots on the scatter and we all
That's it, exactly, fix it, yeah. We spoke about Widow meta last time. It was more a new thing pre-season, people like Baby Bay and yourself like popping off as much as possible. Is that still a thing? Is that going to be more of a thing actually if Mercy gets nerfed, considering that you have, if she's played less, you obviously have no reses, but if she's not as useful, suddenly Widow gets a lot stronger. Is that going to be a thing, do you think? Is that something that's expected, or is she still a little bit more niche, I suppose?
I guess you can say that Mercy is what really enables Widowmaker. Even though that you get picks that can still rest it, but you still force the rest out very early and making it so that you have an advantage going into a fight. But basically, like, it's just because of this slow meta, like just really slow gameplay, where you play these two slow supports and not lose you, basically. You're just making sure that Widow have plenty of time to be able to take shots, just be able to reposition with the hook, and Mercy can still follow her and pocket her, and just making sure that she stays alive. I think moving out of Mercy meta, I don't think Widow is gonna be as strong as she is right now, but she's definitely still be able to be this like niche pocket pick where you can surprise people and get more value out of just being like a surprise pick.
Yeah. So I guess penultimately, we're here now. The Overwatch League is here. You are like, your name's on billboards and stuff like that. There's all sorts of stuff going on in Florida, for example. The world's watching Overwatch League right now. There must be so many young players that are looking at it and want to be that. How do you go about that? How do you go from, like, what is your path to pro, essentially?
I mean, my path from pro is just practice, basically. Like, I've been practicing for so long and so much, like, so incredibly much, and like, it just feels amazing that it's finally here and finally starting, and then just hopefully that we'll be able to like continue this and just continue growing so that it becomes like a really big thing. Just the bigger it is, the better it is for me.
Finally, just your closing thoughts on the Overwatch League. Now it's here, the JUNKRAT and Mercy changes, and what's next, I suppose, for the Overwatch esports scene now that we're here now, the Overwatch League is a thing?
I mean, Overwatch is here, like Overwatch League is here, and we finally be able to kick off with possibly the best gameplay that we can show us with Overwatch in general, and just being able to show off the new game features, basically the game spectator. Like, it's so much easier to see and as well be able to have this like direct feedback basically from the developers, be able to fix things a lot faster. Like in just general, like I think the game is just heading like in a very good direction, especially considering the new PTR changes that is coming, and it's just great, honestly.
Yeah. And then finally, just I guess the Mercy and JUNKRAT changes. To sum them up as concise as possible, if they're good or not, why they're good, and also where can people find you as well, and more from your team in terms of Twitch and Twitter and all that stuff as well.
Both the Mercy and the JUNKRAT changes is making it so that basically the support meta is not as stale as it is, that you only play Mercy and Zenyatta basically, with just very few exceptions. You just make it so that you can be a little bit more flexible with it. Not exactly sure like how it will look like, but from just reading the changes, it's going to make it so that JUNKRAT is not going to be incredibly overpowered on the points where he's really good at. It's just going to make him really good. Maybe you can consider some other options if you don't have a JUNKRAT player, or you can just maybe not be that Mercy player like all the time and just be able to play a little bit more Ana, maybe play a little bit more Moira. We'll see what happens really. Basically, you can follow me over on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Tvique, and on Twitter, MisfitsTvique.
Yep, definitely check that out. It'll all be in the description below. But this is it from us. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that jazz. And until next time, take care. We'll see you then.